Hello, everyone. So, for this week's lecture, we are looking at digital data. And for our lab assignment number 6, we'll be creating maps and looking at the data behind it. So, again, for our lecture, we looked at different types of digital data, such as the digital census data and national land cover data. And especially with our lab course, we have been using data from Living Atlas. The tutorial today we will be looking at it's data from the American Community Survey, and this is important because local communities depend on these information to decide where schools, highways, hospitals, and infrastructure and other important services are needed. So we'll be looking at that these types of data for the access and prepare data for mapping tutorial. So when you click on our tutorial, Access and Prepare Data for Mapping, we will be exploring 3 ways to add mapping data to explore public murals and partnership opportunities with local public school art programs in Detroit. So here it gives you the background of the tutorial. You're a local student who has been assigned to conduct a community-based project about youth and what they do after school. You're interested in investigating how your city should distribute funding in an equitable way to local youth programs. So for this tutorial, we'll be creating a layer from a CSV file, adding layers from the ArcGIS Living Atlas of the world, preparing and creating a CSV file for mapping, as well as styling the layers and saving and sharing a map. So our first step, it says here, is to download a CSV file labeled detroitschools.csv. And I have it downloaded already, as you can see here on the right side of my screen. So again, this is tabular data. This file contains spatial information about the school, such as the X, Y coordinates that we see here in this field. Also the school name, the address, the phone number, and if these schools contain an arts program. So now it wants us to sign into our ArcGIS organization account to upload this Excel file. And let me do that now. So again, to sign in, you type in ArcGIS Online and sign into our community here. So let's go to, I will put this as 2 layers here so we can work on it together. And I recommend you do the same to make it easier to follow the tutorials. So again, we're going to go to Content and click the new item. So now once you added the item, it states here, how would you like to add this file? We would like to add it as a hosted feature layer or table. So the first option. And then we have our fields page. On the page, you can set the type of data you will store for each field. And again, it automatically populates the type of data it is. For example, our latitude and longitude coordinates are a double type. And then with the tutorial, it states a double type are numbers with decimal places. So after this has uploaded, we will click continue. Okay, so now we are going to click next because this is all accurate here. So let's click next. And here we're confirming that the latitude is set to Y and the longitude is set to X. So it looks good. Let's click next. And we will be changing the title. So again, for this tutorial, it provides us the title. And add your initials as well. And then for tags, we are going to type in community mapping and then click enter, schools, click enter and the rest of the tags. And we need to have a summary of this layer that we're adding to our ArcGIS Online account. And then click save. And now we will be adding this layer to our map. So again, let's go to, so we just created a feature layer posted. And now let's go to the map tab and uploading this file. So we're going to click add and we're going to look at my content, and it already popped up for me, but if it hasn't for you, you can just click on this down arrow and go to my content. And again, we have used this add feature a lot when we are looking at Living Atlas and ArcGIS Online. So my content, and I do see it as my first layer here, and it says click the add button. And this layer is added to the map, and we could see that it shows as vector point feature layer. So now it says in the add layer pane, click the back arrow in the layers pane and ensure the public schools in Detroit layer is selected. And again, we know it's selected because of this blue highlight tab that is shown here. And now it's telling us to click on the styles in the style pane and choose attributes and then click field. And we want to choose the arts programs and then click add. And then it states here, this layer updates to show which schools has an arts program and which do not. So in the contents pane, click save and open and click save as. And now we're giving our map a title. So let's copy and paste this and include your initials. And the summary of our map, what it's about. Okay, let's click save. And next, we're going to learn how to add data from the ArcGIS Living Atlas of the world. And again, ArcGIS Living Atlas is a collection of geographic information from around the globe. It includes maps, apps, and data layers to support your GIS projects. So again, in the layers pane, let's click add. And let's click on Living Atlas. And next we will type in American Community Survey, ACS for short, race. and press enter, and it should pop up as the first one. So ACS race and Hispanic origin variables. And then here, when you click on it, on the card itself, it's just the overview of this layer, that this layer contains the most current release of data from the American Community Survey about the population, which is broken down by race and Hispanic origin. And this is broken down by the tract, county, and state boundaries. And we'll see that these three layers are shown in our Contents tab. So let's click Add. Okay, I am going to go back to our layers. So now we should see. Let's go back here, and now we have the ACS, Race and Hispanic Origin Variables boundary. So this map zooms into Detroit, Michigan, and it wants us to click the search result pop-up window. Oh, close the search result pop-up window. And again, I just did that, and we went back to see our layers. So we are going to expand the Hispanic boundaries layer by clicking on this down arrow. And we want to select the tract layer to configure it. So here we have the tract layer. Expand the ACS boundaries group layer and click the tract layer to select it like we just did. And again, the U.S. Census Bureau reports data by various political and statistical geographic units, like we see here, the state, county, or tract level. And the entire country contains states, the states contains counties, and the counties contain tracts. Census tracts are statistical subdivisions of a county that aim to represent about 4,000 people who live in them. So again, we're going to click on the options button for tract and choose show table. So the options button are the three circles, and let's click show table. And I am going to close this so we could see our table. And I am going to minimize it. And I will close the properties. Okay, so in the attribute table for the tract layer, scroll to the right until you see the county field. So again, let's scroll till we see county. So county is right here. And the county attributes contains the name of the county each census tract is in. You're interested in the tracts that are in Wayne County and the county where Detroit, Michigan is located. So we are going to create a filter to select only those tracts within Wayne County. So let's close our attribute table and click on the filter icon. And then we're going to click Add New. So we are going to replace this with a county. So let's select county is, and we want it to be Wayne County. So again, we can either type it or find it. So I am going to type it and click enter, Wayne County. And then we're going to click save. So right now my Wi-Fi is a little slow, but let's click save. So next it's asking us to reorder the layers on the map. And you do that by dragging the public schools on top of the boundaries layer. And so it could be visible. So before it wasn't visible, and now it is visible. So it's important to